came. We're going to do a little thing with the 68, our new mixer. Mike made from Rane Corporation, and I think most people probably know this guy because he's been DJing a long, long time. DJ Big Wiz, Steel Workers, Boo's in the house, Cute Angie's in the house. So Wiz is Aesop Rock's DJ, tours with Aesop Rock, does a lot of production work, started in the radio business, his own production. He's one of the guys that got us into hip-hop, really. We were building club mixers before the MP24, which was the longest running mixer in the history of DJ. We built it for 20 years. This cat said, you ought to build hip-hop mixers, and we went, really? And he goes, yeah, really? So
we didn't call it a hip-hop.
Yeah, no. It was a battle mixer. Yeah. Based around turntablism, and I didn't know anything about it. I think I know a little something about it now. So anyway, fast forward, he's helped us with design and influenced what we've done. So we give it up to him because, hey man, he's got a lot going on, and he's a great DJ. So hey, yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah, my pleasure. So,
then on a good note,
we build everything in the United States. Rane is an American audio manufacturer. All the engineering is done at our factory where I work in Seattle. We're actually north of Seattle. Sorry about the pizza now. I've been here 17 years. So there was a reason I stayed, and one of the reasons I stayed is because we like to do things for customers, and Wiz was part of it. So if a guy has questions about Scratch Live and we don't get an answer today or you don't remember, there are 4 full-time guys at Rane that work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, that answer questions. We took 70,000 phone calls last year. So it's busy. But it's busy because we have a lot of DJs that are interested and need help. Most DJs don't like to read manuals. We understand that. So we'll answer questions for people on the phone. When you call Rane, you get a human being. You don't get voicemail. If you need help, we'll try to help you. The other thing is there's a living, breathing forum called ScratchLive.net. That's where you can go and download the software and improve basically your information on Scratch Live and what we're doing in Rane and what Serato is doing. So that's 24/7, and that's available in Chinese, Japanese, French, English, Italian, German. It's all moderated by other guys who are interested in our product. So this is going to be informal, so if you have questions, please ask them. We're going to hang out a little bit afterwards. Normally we do a video display as well. We're sorry we don't have it today, but those kind of things come up because we are going to show Video SL, so you'll be able to see what we're doing on the video side too. It's not only an audio mixer, it's a video mixer. And we also have our friends from Ableton in the house. I think everybody knows about Ableton and Ableton products, and if you don't, I'm sure that we can give you some insight there. So, without further ado, take it away, brother.
Can everybody hear me without the mic?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Everybody in the back, can you hear me? You couldn't even say anything anyway. Alright, the other night I actually did a club where I wasn't going on until the last set of the night, but 3 other DJs were spinning, but they weren't doing video. So I spun video on 2 channels on my laptop while they spun audio on the other 2 channels on their laptop. And when one DJ would switch out and the other one would come in, I could throw audio on my laptop and spin while they got set up. So we got 2 setups, spinning audio, 1 spinning video all night on the same mixer. So yeah, you can do a lot with this. We're going to start off talking about the channel strip. 4 channels. At the top of the channel, this top knob is your input selector. That's going to select your input for that channel. Underneath that, you have your gain, your level. Under that, you have a 3-band EQ, and this is Rane's. Rane has a patent on this EQ. They're the only mixer company that's been granted a patent on their EQ because it's so unique and different than anything else out there. If you turn these the EQs all the way to the left, you're gonna get full kill, full cut. So I can turn my gain all the way up, turn the main level all the way up. Nothing. I didn't turn the master down. I actually turned everything up. I just turned the EQ up. So that's still there. So it's a really great EQ. Under that, you have a filter suite, filter knob on each channel. Low pass, high pass filter suite. Low pass filter kicking in. So I go to the right. And that's on each channel. That's separate from the effects section. Underneath that, you have a little button down here that says A, B, and post. That's your crossfader selector. So you can select on any channel what side of the crossfader it's going to be on, or if it's going to be attached to the crossfader at all. So right now I have this channel on the A side of the crossfader. If I want to set it up reverse and have it on the B side of the crossfader, just move that to B. Now it's on the B side of the crossfader. If I want to just mix from the channel faders and not have it on the crossfader, and now it's on the channel. On the front of the mixer, you control the contour, the curve of the channel fader and the crossfaders. So right now, this is set to like a long fade, so I can fade it up really slowly. If I want to set it to come in a lot quicker, like for cutting, can turn the program fader knob, curve knob to the right, full on with just a couple of millimeters. So that's on the front panel. We don't have the screen, so y'all can't see what I'm doing on here, but I tried to turn this. If y'all want to gather around, I'm going to be referring to some features on the screen from time to time. One thing, speaking of the headphones, if you go into your setup screen on Scratch Live and go to your hardware tab, down here on the bottom, you have two knobs for your headphone tone control. You can control the low and the high of your headphone tone. So again, if you're in a club and the monitors are really muddy and it's hard to hear what you're cueing, you can go to your headphone tone, take the lows out of your headphones, boost up the high so it kind of cuts through that muddy frequency and hear it a little bit better. Or if you just have like really crappy headphones and they don't sound that good, you can mess with the tone and make them sound a little bit better. And these knobs can be assigned to MIDI knobs on a MIDI controller or knobs on the 68, since this is also a MIDI controller. And I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. But that's a nice little touch right there if you've ever had headphone problems. Now this button, the Flex Effects button. You have a Flex Effects button on each channel and even on both of the microphones. That's how you engage the effects section to that channel. And you can have effects on all channels at once, or any combination of channels at once, as opposed to some other 4-channel mixes with effects that you can only have an effect on one track at a time. Your effects section is right here, and the way you turn on the whole effects engine is the Flex Effects On button right here. When you turn it on, it will light up so you know it's on. So now the whole effects section is on. I can choose an effect. Before I do that, there's a knob on the front of the mixer called Flex Effects Mix Level. You want to make sure that's turned all the way to the right. Otherwise, when you turn your effects on, you're not going to hear anything. Turn that effects level all the way up. Turn your effects engine on. Choose an effect like Echo. Turn your level depth knob up a little bit to increase how much of the effect you're going to get. Now when I press this Flex Effect button, that's going to go to the mix. As you hear that echo is in time with the beat. I didn't have to tap anything out and make it on beat. It was just automatically when I turned it on. As long as you have your BPM set and your tracks in Scratch Live, it's going to recognize that and automatically be on beat. Now, right here you have two buttons that say beat, one's pointing left, one's pointing right, or beat down and up. That will take the setting of your effect and cut it in half, like break it up or break it down. If you have a 1 measure delay set, you can hit the beat up button and make it 2 measures, 4 measures, 8 measures, 16 measures, or you can go down from 1 to half to 1/3 to 1/4, 1/8, 1/16 to make it shorter. And it'll still stay in time. So I'll break this down. Still in beat. The only time that'll lose sync and get out of beat is if you hit this tap button or turn the time knob. So you may be thinking, well, you know, if it's in sync, why would I want to do that? Well, if you're on the mic and you want the microphone effects to be in sync with what you're playing, the mic doesn't have a BPM set to it. You got to tap that in, so you can tap it in. But if you accidentally, you know, it's dark and you're not paying attention, hit the tap button, you're like, oh damn, like it went out of sync. What do? All you have to do, turn the Flex Effects button off on that channel and back on, and it's back in sync. Off on, and it's back on. Tap, and you're back on sync. Another thing about the delay, let's set a little bit longer delay here. If I turn the level depth knob all the way to the right, that that delay will keep on being up. A lot of delays, every time it's happening, you have to do it, they keep going up, getting louder and louder. There's one more. So you can basically set a one more loop, two more loops, one more loop. Then echo on, set the track, keep that as a loop, and something else on top of. Make the acapella on top of that, throwing another beat, just use it like another track. And it'll only start to fade out if I turn the level depth knob to the left, then it'll start